Living, structured soil, the world's most valuable resource.
Hi, I'm John Morris, owner and founder of Agri-Essentials. Agri-Essentials have pioneered New Zealand volcanic rock as a fertiliser blended with fish, seaweed and other natural ingredients, culminating in a fertiliser that is full of life, minerals and paramagnetic energy. Life begins and ends in the soil.
Agri-Essentials.
Now that we've got a plan, it's time to start getting the various pieces together for our tank project. And so the boys have gone down to the local farm supplies store, also your hardware store will stock the majority of the pieces that you need to plumb your tank into your main supply, plumb it back to your rainwater supply and through into the pumps. So that while they're shopping, I've got the job of getting busy with the chainsaw and clearing out part of the space that the tank is going to sit into. A little bit of cutting, digging, chopping, all of those things all combined in one wee action. Now the important job of making a sand bed. Now the sand does a number of functions. First of all, gives a slightly flexible base so that in times of earthquake or major catastrophes, the tank has a little bit of movement so it won't topple. It also gives a nice barrier between anything that may grow up. Things like roots, shoots off some of our stumps. To this end, we're going to put some weed mat down and spread the sand over. About 100mm depth of sand is plenty adequate. But of course, if you want to make it a bit fancier, you can put some edging in, some 6x2s or whatever, just to build it up a little bit higher, or make a complete platform. But you do need that sand bed really just to give it a nice little bit of movement and lovely base for your tank, and so it can nestle in. Later on, if you wish, you can add other edgings, punga or whatever, and landscape around the base. But get a bed ready for that tank so it nestles snugly. Excitement is rising. The tank has arrived and it's all hands on deck to get it off the trailer. Although in reality, with a plastic tank, 2 people can easily move a tank of this size, 5,500 litres, into place. While it took 3 of us, really 1 could have probably done it beautifully. Big thing is the sand bed is nice and level, and a little bit of firming down before you put the tank on allows good firm bedding, and the tank can be manipulated into place. Exciting, plus 1 push and you've got the tank there. Now we've got to connect the tank up to all and sundry, water in, water out. We've got the joy of having the tank in place. Now comes the work of connecting up. A lot of bulk quickly up, then there's all the little gadgets. And we're going to find out from Jamie what some of the things that we're going to connect up to this tank to be able to get the water to the house. So there we go. Catch up with Jamie. Well, we've got a whole pile of packages that have been put out here for us to have a look at. Bits that are going to connect into the tank, but we need to talk to Jamie to find out exactly what's going on with this little display. Jamie, looks a bit like a science fiction movie set here.
Lots of little treasures.
So we're connecting the tank up. What are we going to be connecting to the tank?
We're going to have rainwater coming into the tank. We're also going to have spring water coming into the tank. We've got to get rid of overflow water, and we've also got to pump the stuff. We cover everything here.
Okay, start off far side with your white Darth Vader helmet.
So this is what we call a leaf diverter. It has several different other names, but we call it a leaf diverter. So this goes inside your downpipe, and what it does is it deflects any sticks, leaves and other sort of larger debris out. You'll see here that we've got a mesh screen. These fingers get rid of the sticks. This sort of helps smaller but still big items escape.
So a standard off-the-shelf thing that you get when you buy a tank?
Yes, from our company it is, but I mean they're available in plumbing merchants and the like. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that bit. What about setting? You've mentioned using the spring water. How do you set how much is going to be in there?
Well, as a rule, you've never been able to, but these clever clogs from the little old rural town of Matamata have come up with an idea that allow you to set what volume of alternative water supply, bore, spring, whatever it may be, that you maintain in your tank at all time. You don't want to run out of rainwater, so this will maintain always some water in the tank.
And that can be set for urban situations using town water for a certain in the tank too.
Absolutely. So quite a clever little device, not particularly complex. It is manually set using this rope system for your height in the tank where you want it to be topping up from and to.
So dry times you have it a bit higher to have the alternative filling.
You certainly can.
Yes.
Yep.
Rightio, that looks a fantastic gadget. We'll have our man Noel putting those in for us a bit later on. But overflow, because you get too much rain, it's going to really be taking off in a big way, isn't it?
Absolutely. You could have 40 tanks in at some point in the winter if you're catching enough roof area. They're going to overflow. You'll never be able to catch it all. So it's got to go somewhere. So again, another little kit, another box with all the little bits and bobs in it that you need to be able to exit that water from your tank and discharge it, whether that's into a soak hole or across the ground.
And why have a breather thing on the top?
You need to be able to let the tank breathe. If you consider drinking water out of a plastic water bottle, if you're not letting air in, you're not going to get maximum water out. It's going to suction. So this releases any risk of suction. It's also got a little mozzie screen in there to stop any bugs getting in.
Ah, brilliant. And then we get in, I like this, a little bit of Charles Atlas Flexi stuff. What's this kit?
This is what we just simply call a plumbing kit. So basically, again, to make it nice and easy, we've got everything in here that you're going to need to be able to go straight from your tank to your pump. All your nipples, your ball valves, all of that sort of stuff, including your thread tape, to make sure the job's done right with all the right bits. No thinking about what extra fittings you're going to need.
So that's a very simple little one. Let's toss that one to one side because this looks really interesting. A pump.
Yes, it is.
And what sort are we using here?
This is a Grundfos pump. It's one of my personal favourite brands. It's just so reliable. They last and last and last. Very reputable, and we know that we have no problems with them.
So what are the bits on it? Because again, we're used to the old Davies pump that we looked at a little earlier. We've got one little bit here, a bit here, and a bit here. What are the three?
Well, this is doing the pumping. This is your impellers in this part here. This is the motor that's driving those impellers, so spinning them. This here is quite a clever new device. This is what's replaced your, historically you've had a large pressure vessel in your pump shed and the like, and so that takes out the need of that. We're going to electronics these days as opposed to the mechanical systems.
So a little bit of virtual in there.
Yeah.
So which is the flow of water? Does it go in through here and out through there, presumably?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Well, we've got the pump, we've got the bit that's keeping the leaves out of the water, we've got a measure so we'll always have water, we've got an overflow. Jamie, I think it's time we started connecting up.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. We'll bring our man Noel in and we'll be all go.
Absolutely.
Let's get to it. While Jamie and Noel are around the other side connecting water up, I've got the job of putting the leaf trap up. We're putting it a little bit down from the very top because of easy access if we ever have to clean it out. So bear with me while I scale to dizzying heights. Beautiful. Now we put our filters back in, connect up the downpipe. Well done.
Agri-Essentials fertilisers increase topsoil depth, carbon content, fertility, water retention, soil drainage, soil biology, minerals, and improve plant and animal and human health.
Agri-Essentials, makers of the best fertilisers on and for the earth. New Zealand farmers, the choice is yours.
Agri-Essentials.